You're hearing echoes from PRX, and I'm John Diliberto. Lis Addison recently released her album Songs from the Morrow. It's a meditative, lush journey inspired by her trips to Kenya that reveals many of the music influences in her background. She makes a music that is peaceful and uplifting, but there is darkness that lies within. I'm talking to Lis Addison on the Riverside app. She's in her home studio in Marin County, California. Athletically slender with long, wavy blonde hair, she sits at a recording console. A guitar lies against a bookcase, and a piano takes up much of the frame.
I've had that since I was 10. It's a Baldwin.
10 was some 50-odd years ago for Addison, and those years have been filled with so much music that it is hard to pin her down as an artist. The easiest peg to hang her on is New Age.
I actually have never liked being New Age, but at least I have a genre. And I am a spiritual kind of person, so I fit there. And I like those people.
But she also makes rollicking African-influenced dance records.
Yeah, that's because it was created for a dance routine, right? So it would start out slowly, build up to sweating, right, and then come down.
She has a deep knowledge of Indian music.
I think those two have been mainstays in my interest, along with Western classical music and Western music.
But there is another, more primal influence.
I am a dancer also. I just love the rhythm. I think I had my first African class at age 15. And then when I moved down to LA, I used to take a lot of West African dance classes. My first teacher was from Ghana.
Lis Addison is a sound healer, and she has taught at the Sound Healing Institute in San Francisco for 15 years. She also has her own vocal therapy project called Kinetic Voice. She often uses mantras in her lyrics, which she does on her album, Elements.
This is typical of me. I mix and match. I'm such a hybrid because I've had so many influences, and I just weave it into what makes sense musically. The Sanskrit mantras are paired with English language. For example, the mantra for water, it's a releasing. It's allowing yourself to release pain. And so it's paired with water. So envisioning the water taking that away.
Although she comes from a privileged background, Lis Addison didn't come to this place easily. Her father was a doctor and her mother a ballet dancer, but Addison kind of rebelled against that.
My father disowned me. I got sent off to boarding school when I was 13. I skipped 8th grade. I fell in love with this kind of Svengali guy when I was like 16. I spent a year at Mills, and then I said to my dad, I just want to drop out of school and live with my boyfriend. No daughter of mine does that. So I was kind of stuck. So I played in a reggae band. I worked as a chef. It was hard. Learning composition by day and playing reggae at night and staying up all night. And I still got straight A's and made Phi Beta Kappa, which was amazing. I had no money. I worked my ass off. I was supporting my boyfriend. He was a druggie. It was like, I don't talk about that very much, but you're a good interviewer. And I feel like I want to tell you because Yeah, my music is very positive.
But that didn't happen right away. The school she attended was Mills College, a bastion of the avant-garde.
So for undergrad, it was pretty cool because I was studying composition, and Terry Riley was still there, Lou Harrison was still there, and I studied piano and voice and composition. That was my main thing. Also, Alaudine Matthew was my music theory teacher. I also studied environmental science. I decided to stay for grad school. I went back to get my master's in composition, but I was really more interested in switching over to the Center for Contemporary Music because of the electronic music and the recording, because I wanted to learn to record myself and develop my sound.
Like Suzanne Chani, Barbara Higbee, and Snatam Kaur, and to a different degree, Laurie Anderson, she came out of Mills with a different sound that didn't quite relate to the pure avant-garde side of things.
There were some concerts during those years when I just wanted to pull my hair out and run down the aisle screaming, like, let me out, because it was too avant-garde. And they didn't really like me because I liked melody and harmony. Yeah, I've always been a black sheep wherever I go.
Yet, the Mills influence undergirds her music in many ways.
I studied with Terry Riley, starting as an undergrad, actually, because his teacher, Pandit Pranath, was there. And I studied Indian music starting at 17. And it was major ear training. It was fantastic. And I do a lot of that music as well. So between Terry's bringing his teacher in and studying with both Pandit Pranath and Terry Riley, and then Lou Harrison, I got some pretty good world music in there as well.
By the time of her 2008 album, The Song of a Tree, she developed a distinctive sound employing voice as an instrument mixed with electronic atmospheres, and in this case, Native American influences. That title, Song of a Tree, is somewhat prophetic of a path Addison would take into environmentalism. That was focused on Africa.
The whole connection with Kenya is different in a way because when I was a child, my parents, intellectuals, my mother was an artist, my dad was a surgeon, and we had big books about Africa, Jane Goodall, Margaret Mead, The Tree Where Man Was Born by Peter Matheson, and I think that sparked my interest in and love of Africa. I just always wanted to go there.
11 years ago, she created the nonprofit Singing Tree Institute.
Kitui is the place where I have the tree planting projects. I have a project manager named David Mutinda, and we met when I was doing eco-safaris with Wangari Maathai and Jane Goodall's organizations. Deforestation had occurred by not specifically my ancestors, but people from England. You know, they colonized Kenya, and they planted tea and coffee. As a result, there's so much erosion and deforestation and drought that I just wanted to help replant, to help to bring the water back and reduce the temperatures. So Mutinda and I put the Singing Tree Institute together. And we have since planted nearly 7,000 trees in the Kitui area.
Kitui Rain is one of the songs on her album, Songs from the Mara. Songs from the Mara is a melodic ambient expanse laid on a bed of nature recordings that Addison made.
I love nature, and I love nature in the sense of feeling that I am with and living with and amongst other living beings. So every morning and every night, thousands of birds would serenade me, and I would just go up and sit by myself on this little porch and look out. Couldn't really see the birds, but they filled all my senses and my ears, and I just felt like I was living amongst them, being serenaded by them.
Lis Addison is a singer, and although she's composed wordless songs before, Songs from the Mara is particularly compelling in the way she uses her voice to merge with the environmental sounds.
I didn't want to be the singer diva and have all the attention on my voice. I wanted my voice to be part of the ecosystem, to have it be egalitarian like all the other sounds. Important to the ecosystem, but just another voice, just another niche.
Addison's Mills College background emerges on the 10-minute-long closing track, an ambient work in the purest sense. No beats, no melody, just synthesizer pads underpinning a shifting panorama of sounds from Kenya.
It's a sound bath because the first night I arrived on the Mara last year, I had been in Europe working, and Dubai and Israel, and I showed up on the Mara, and it was the first rain of the season, and I literally sat in a chair for 3 hours and did nothing but listen to the rain and the frogs, and it was so nourishing and so healing. I find it really comforting and relaxing to sort of let go of all of the very egocentric that the human life that the human is engaged in. And it's so nice to be absorbed in a non-human experience and to learn from that, just be taught by that and healed by that. And also just to know we're not the only ones here.
Lis Addison's latest album is Songs from the Mara. And if you were wondering, her father did finally embrace her.
He was tough, but I am who I am today because of him too.